Hey, another episode of Overtime. We talk about, unconventional topics, alternative topics, make you think, make you ponder. This ain't no,
Rabbit hole topics.
yeah, okay, that's a, yeah,
Yeah, because you always gotta research something after this.
yeah. Especially, yeah, Paul, you messed me up last week with the whole two moons.
Yeah, the double moon.
Yeah.
I was trying to look that up too. I was actually, man, it's crazy. I was thinking about that when I was on the plane, yo. Like it was a night flight. I was just looking out. I saw the moon. I was like, yo, if I saw a double fucking moon right now, that would make my night. That would make my whole.
That shit messed my head up. I don't even know how.
I know.
And everybody there, like I still got a couple military guys that was talking about it. But if you look for it, you can search and go down a rabbit hole.
I've been searching. Yeah,
because I found a couple of things last week too, but it is not like readily available. Like that's
somebody sent me it.
That's the shit that I'm like, why aren't they? You know what I'm saying? Why
like talking about that? Yeah,
why are you talking about?
That's what made me think. Like, damn, what is that? Like, what area is that? That must be like the end of the spectrum of the shit or something. Like the similar, or is like how is it just a reflection of the other side of the moon? Like that's all I keep thinking about. Like how is it just like that? That's crazy.
Right.
But it's real.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, before we get into the moon shit, or we can jump back into the moon shit. Has anybody seen that Sons of Sam joint on Netflix? Nobody? All right, I ain't gonna get into it then.
Sons of Sam.
I know it's on Netflix. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
brand new or something.
I think I told Corey to watch it. I don't know if he watched it, but like you know that story, like Sons, the son of Sam, like in New York.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I remember the first movie was by
when we was like,
what's his name?
When we was like kids and shit.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
John Leguizamo. Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
But like I had no idea like it was like possibly, a multiple shooter type jump.
So
actually,
that's what they talk about on it?
Yeah, it was
a documentary.
Yeah, it's
I
like
started it. I ain't finished it yet though.
But it's like a four. I think it's like a 4-part documentary. But
okay.
Yeah, man, it's like it got me thinking. Like, is all these like what I mean? These mass shootings. I mean, these are like rituals. These are like satanic rituals. That's what I got from the shit. And like it was connected to Charles Manson. It was connected to like a joint in Ohio called like The Process. It was connected to all this shit. Like. They be like using like a lone. Every time they say it's like a lone wolf, it's not a lone wolf. It's a network of people that use that shit to like conduct rituals. Shit, crazy, man.
You think they like recruit people? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, they showed you exactly what they did in that jump.
So like, what you think? Do you think it's like like almost like I don't know. I was gonna say like a rookie type thing, like like fraternities do for initiation, but it's like if you got members there for 10 years, obviously they didn't do something that crazy because they're still there.
Exactly.
So trying to figure out like who did how do they pick? All right, you go ahead and do this, and then
you're right. I think they picked the youngins too because the other dudes, like you said, got seniority. They ain't about to do that shit. And it's a certain time, whatever the mission is. Yeah. It's like a mission. So that shit's always weird. And I need to watch it.
And then it'd be like they'd be using like the police to kind of like cover it up because they're like, oh yeah, of course it was just a lone shooter. You know what I'm saying? There was no way it was like a satanic network. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like.
But using a young dudes is nothing, man. Shit, that's what they send young boys to go to war every day. They send young boys to war every day.
Yeah, it's disposable. That's why they do it
every day. So
that's even now. Yeah, that's even now. All these motherfuckers that be doing the shootings getting caught up in these like random ass shit. They're all young boys. This program.
You talking like the DC sniper and all that?
All that.
Even
The shit that
with
just
the one black mass shooter anyway. The one,
all that
don't
shit.
like
The
that.
protests, everything. Just these random acts. All these dudes are like young.
Yeah.
It's no seasoned ass old man doing
You
it.
remember
Not
that
a
shit in New York?
refuge.
Remember when that shit happened at that bodega in New York with that little Spanish kid that got
Oh yeah.
stabbed up?
Something
Like those,
Hernandez.
I think even
Machete.
that thing, I think that shit has some ritualistic aspects to it because even the kid who killed him was or the one they said who was actually the murderer had blonde hair, and they said that the blonde hair is a representative of like the agent of chaos and shit as far as the ritual. So they were saying if you ever see like some fucked up shit and there's somebody that had blonde hair, that means that they were part of the ritual.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But hold up, I'm trying to confuse. You're talking about the dude that was rolling with the machete?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit. They saying that was like I saw a video where he was saying that was basically a ritual. And the day he did it, I think had some sort of ritualistic, significance too. So.
You know, whole like New York element. It's like a lot of like darkness, like surrounding like in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, a lot. There's always some shit happening.
You know what's other? I Googled like when I was watching that documentary. It's like you know, it's at any point in time the United States is in between like 25 and 75 serial killers at large.
Damn.
Damn.
That's a lot.
And
that's a big gap though too.
That's
but then again, but then again, if you think about it, 24. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But even 25 to 75, that kind of does make sense. But I mean, that does kind of make sense because when we think of serial killers, we be thinking like weird white guy. You know what I'm saying? But it'd be like be niggas in the hood, be catching bodies,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta look at that shit too. That even that is still a serial killer, but we may not perceive it like that. But that's the same shit. So I'm sure they out there. Some gang members and shit like that. Full blown serial.
My thing is that if they're saying that it's 25, then I'm sure there's at least 50, and it's probably more.
Probably,
You're
probably right.
more.
You're probably right.
Probably more. It's probably more. They're just not gonna say that shit to scare motherfuckers and you know what I'm saying?
Nah, but 25 itself is a lot.
Exactly. And where they at? Shit, we got 50 states. It's 25 of these motherfuckers. We got 50.
Right. It probably is two
territories.
But it'd be like in the like hubs. It'd be like Chicago, New York, California. Like it'd be what I'm saying. A lot should be happening.
There's a lot of ground to cover.
Utah and shit too. That's kind of strange.
What is that like a truck stop? International place or some shit.
A lot of occult shit be happening there.
Oh yeah, I just saw some shit on some about cults. It is a lot of shit that happens in Utah too with that. Yeah,
a lot of cult shit.
I wonder why. Why Utah?
There's just some weird niggas out there too.
I know they got that representation too.
What's out there? This one out there. This out there going to the Bible Belt and stretching out and shit. This weird motherfuckers around there. Dog.
Louisiana.
Damn. Yeah.
Dog, you bring Louisiana up. Did y'all see the joint? There's a documentary, whatever. Did y'all see the joint? It's a white cop that was snatching up black men and raping them.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
what is that on?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
What?
In the 80s or something?
Yeah, no. You thought it was. No, sir.
What's it called?
Recent?
Yeah, what's it
Pull it
called?
up. Pull it up. I forgot the name of the drum. Pull it up. Pull it up.
One more
Pull it
type.
up.
I don't want to type that in my fucking search bar.
I know. You know what
White
kind of
cop.
backlash comes
White
after
top
that?
rapes.
Rapes.
White top.
Wow.
You're gonna be getting sex ads after you type that in.
Yeah. Bots.
Is it in Louisiana?
I feel like it was in Louisiana.
Oh,
It was
see, you
in
don't even
Louisiana.
know for sure.
It was in Louisiana, man. In
I
Louisiana.
don't know. I'm not looking that up either.
Hey,
All right.
yeah, I'm
Look it up.
good on that one. I'm
Look
gonna
it
pass
up
that
on my
one up.
phone. Look it up
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
phone.
Let's pass
Look it
on
up on
that
my
one.
phone.
Let's pass
Look
on
it up
that
on
one.
my
Hey,
phone.
oh, you want to see that shit?
Hey, so I was thinking about something the other day, right?
All right, yeah, here we be.
I was thinking about something. So just kind of follow me on this one. Stay with me. I don't want to lose you. So imagine, picture yourself as a game developer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you were a developer of, let's say,
Simulation.
Grand Theft Auto or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a developer and the creator of this game, you put all of the laws into the game. So whether you want what the name of the cars, how the car is going to look, how it's going to look when it's daytime, how it's going to look when it's nighttime, how the characters are going to look, everything that the developer puts into the game, the players can then jump into. The players can create an avatar and they jump into the game, right? And they play the game within what the developer has made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is technically a simulation, right?
Right.
It's a simulation of what the developer, within the rules of what the developer has given you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't go on Grand Theft and make your person purple if that's not something that the within the rules or the guidelines that the developer
No,
has.
yes, you can. You can make mods, and I'll be watching that show on YouTube.
But I'm saying if there's certain things that you technically there are certain things that you have to abide within the guidelines of that actual construct of that game, right?
Once you play the
Right.
game, yeah.
Which is a simulation, right?
Right.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna read something to you. So, Genesis chapter 1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
God said, "Let there be light," right? So God made these things, right? God made the construct and the laws of everything that we follow. So technically, yes, when everybody says, "Oh, we live in a simulation," yes, we do. We live in a simulation. But I think that the problem is that we've now created our own simulations within the simulations, which is fucking it up.
What you mean, like doing the work week, like that type simulation?
No,
or,
I think that
only seeing like the physical.
Right, because I mean, think about it. It's when I think we were made to, and like they said, we were made in His likeness, right? We're a direct extension of God, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're made in His likeness, so we all, you know what I'm saying. So if that's the case, but what we're doing now, we go online, we create our own avatars. So we creating our own simulations instead of living in the simulation that we're technically supposed to be organically living. Just food for thought. My brain was just kind of going the other day.
Nah, I'm following.
I like that. All right, cool. All right. So I think about that. Yeah, man, that make a lot of sense as far as it being a simulation. I think what you're basically saying is like we're living within, I guess, God's, will. I guess living with under His laws. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, no, we're creating our own laws and creating our, this is how I want to do it. And I think even that whole concept when it's this I. It's ego, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're starting to like kind of worship our egos and shit like that rather than, follow behind God. But the thing is, that ego is part of that, it's like the reason we're not perfect is, God, what's the way I'm trying to say it? It's like you need to that unknown, you know what I'm saying? It's like in order to grow, in order to expand, there has to be like an unknown. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we're not perfect, which gives us space to try to become perfect. So it's even God like kind of uses us as a simulation to see how far it can go. You know what I'm saying? As far as does that make sense though? It's like
yeah.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that does that make sense? Did y'all
Yeah.
follow me on that?
Nah,
No,
I'm
that was
following
making
you.
sense.
Yeah, but
Because you was piggybacking off what I was saying.
yeah,
I got you. Yeah. Nah, I'm following.
So yeah,
Which just makes it even.
that's kind of what.
And then if you think about it even more, it's like, all right, so if we are within the simulation, right? So if we us as humans, like I think that one of the biggest things that we're kind of getting away from is living in the current moment, in the present moment, which is very, very hard to fucking do on a consistent basis. People train for years to try to do that shit, meditating and things like that. But let me ask you something: if something happened in the past, right, and you still within the present day allow for that, it no longer exists, right? It happened in the past. You can't get that shit back. But people let the past still affect how they live their lives in the future, whether it be especially in a negative way. So aren't you technically? I don't know. Like you're creating like
You're not expanding the same shit. You're living in
you're
a circle.
creating energy that's no that it's not there. You're making that shit up. It's like you're walking around
Up in your own
hallucinating.
mind. Yeah,
Like that
that's real
doesn't, like
shit.
what
That's some
happened
real
10
shit.
years ago has no relevance, right? It literally does not
What's
exist.
happening in the moment?
It
That's some
does
real
not
shit.
exist. And
So
guess what? People do the same
Yeah,
shit for the future.
yeah, but I think that's that. No, I mean,
but
but even what
are
you're
you
saying, I think
saying
that's
that
when they say like we're
you
our
should
own
know
worst enemies
your?
and shit.
Yeah.
But should we not know our past in order to know our future?
But that's what I'm saying, Simo.
Yeah,
People, go ahead, Lighthouse.
you go ahead. You was about to go in. Go ahead. You got that shit.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, like, we create. So I feel like we create, because I think humans, we created this thing called memories, right? And we created memories because we don't know how to live in the present moment. That's why we have memories. We hold on to shit that it literally does not make any sense for you to
In the
hold
moment.
on to some. You see what I'm saying? Because it has no relevance. It literally has no
See,
relevance.
that shit Brian talking about. He like he on the he talking
I
about
hear you.
the power of the mind
I
and
hear
shit.
you.
Now, that's a very fucking important
I
concept
hear
that
you.
you're talking about. Because like even like some books I read, like the shit will say like you can even create memories that never happened in order to change your emotional state. So you can sit there and had a bad situation that happened in the past, and the mind is so powerful where you can change that narrative in your mind and made that situation work out for you, and then your whole perspective and that shit that you was holding on in the past completely crumbles and goes away, and it has no relevance because you changed the you know, in your mind, that visual that you had that might be haunting you for so long. Now you change the visual in your mind. Now your emotional state changes because you work. You know what I'm saying? You create pictures. You know how you visualize shit. It's like
Yep.
basically it's like the power of visualization and shit like that. So it's like when you playing back these negative memories, you get sad, you get depressed. This shit don't do nothing for you in the present moment, because right now in the present moment, that shit is not happening. And that's that power of the
At
mind
all.
shit. Like, and if you have that state, if you have that mental presence to be able to be like, it's this happening to me right now, and then they be able to control your mindset and your emotions. That's having power of your mind right there, because that's where we say we're our own worst enemies, because we'll have frustrations, and we'll be mad about shit for a long fucking time, but right now that shit ain't happening to you, so you wasting your time, you wasting your energy, you know what I'm saying? And it's non-progressive, and it keeps you
Yep.
stagnant. It really does. Like, so yeah, that's some real shit. It really is.
Yeah,
though.
I agree. And niggas do that shit even with like futuristic things, shit that ain't even happened yet. People will stress over. How could one do that
It's
to
anxiety.
themselves?
Exactly.
That shit ain't
That's
even
called
happened
anxiety.
yet.
That's what
Like,
anxiety.
what the fuck?
That's what anxiety is called. That's literally what that is,
That's
though. It's anxiety.
crazy.
Creating that space in your
You're
mind.
creating a negative future now. for something that didn't even
That's
happen
real.
yet.
That's
crazy.
That's real. But be
That's
able
fucking
to
crazy.
control your mind on that level is like that's like that's damn near masterful. You know, that's self mastery, as they would say. You know what I'm saying? To be able to have that level of control over your mind. You know.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
agree.
Because I think even when we talk about the concept of emotions and like minds and all that shit, like where your emotions, wherever you feel that shit may be real, but it's like then you use your brain to like, you know, because sometimes you get triggered, you don't know what might bother you in the moment. You know what I'm saying? You might get caught off guard, but you know what I'm saying? Then it's like you use your mind to process this. Like, and what Brian was saying earlier, is this happening to me now? Did this person mean to insult me? Most likely not. Did that person know what they just said? Like, you choose to get offended. You know what I'm saying? They didn't make you offended. You chose that route. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's really like that's how that shit kind of works.
No,
You know, it's like if you have that level of
right.
control over your mind, like you can literally, yeah, you know, that's powerful. That's some powerful shit though. It really is. You know, it's like whatever happens, you might feel that emotion, then your mind rationalizes it, and then you be like, all right, boom, like take that emotion and crumble that motherfucker, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and it just goes
Right.
away. You know,
Yeah, I
I mean
think
that's a form
like,
of visualization though, but that's literally a form you could use, like when you feel that, picture that emotion, that negative emotion crumbling and, you know what I'm saying, and disintegrating away and shit, and that shit, you'll feel it. I'm telling you. But yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
no, I feel like that's the personality of like successful people too, because
Yeah.
those that, you know, dwell on the past and those that, you know, are so scared of what might happen in the future, they don't step out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't step out there. They don't think outside the box. But the people that, you know, is like they use that shit and they like, you know, either crumble it up or use it as like a stepping stool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
And
motivation.
yeah, like motivation or accomplish, or like that's a challenge. Like I fucked it up before, but guess what I'm about to do now? You know what I mean? So it's like you could have it. It could
Shit
be
Michael Jordan said.
yeah, it could be like a negative aspect of your life, like B said. It could be a negative aspect of your life, and it could carry with you the whole goddamn time, your whole life. Like, just imagine that. And that's what, when people say baggage, that's what I imagine, like shit that you've gone through in the past that is still hurting you today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or it's still affecting you negatively. And your choices that you make is based on what happened 10 years ago. So like, yeah, I think, and you know, some of these rich motherfuckers out here, like not even rich. I'm not even gonna say rich. Some of the people are just well off. Like they do mental practices, and they have therapists that say, you know, that tell them
you have to though.
You're right, because they even tell, look, a lot of motherfuckers, because guess what, P-Shag, you're so right, because them motherfuckers understand that it's not about what happened or what's going to happen right now.
Yeah.
How can I capitalize on what's happening right now? And when you stay in the now, that's when you're living at that point in time. You're actually you're in control, and everybody else just looks like you. I mean, it's got to be a eerie feeling if you living in the now amongst people who's living in the past and the future. It's got to be. It's a weird feeling when you see a rack of people that's just like they have no idea where they're going. They're just zombies, just walking around.
I had to tell somebody that. I was like, you know what I mean? The shit you've been through, you know what I'm saying? Don't make, you know what I mean? Like you went through it, but don't, you know what I mean? You ain't got to carry that shit every day. You know what I'm saying?
They don't define you. They don't define you.
Yeah, you don't have to carry it every day.
It's sad. That's true. That's true, and that's a real thing.
As much as it probably took a toll on you, you do not have to carry that with you every day.
You can't drive,
and that's real because you know I have a family member that had a rough childhood. You know what I'm saying, and you know, in his 30s now, and if you meet him today, he'll still be talking about what happened when we was kids. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, damn, bro. You know. Say it'd be like that kind of shit, you know, but I mean it's fucked up because that's easier said than done because a lot of people been
right,
absolutely, yeah.
But it's like, but then there's a lot of people that's been through the same shit, and you know they use that shit or they did what, you know, it's like I think we had this conversation before. You have two brothers in the household, went through the same trauma. One became successful and one became alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's no, as much as you want to be empathetic though, you know, still, you know, I guess some level of, you know, it's on you at the end of the day, you know, to a certain point, you know, so.
Yeah. The mind is a powerful thing.
Oh, most definitely.
The most powerful.
It is, bro.
And like,
so is the heart.
The way you can elevate in life, you know what I'm saying? The way you can put things behind you and let it not affect your future, or even let it be a stepping stool or a learning tool. Like we said, like that shit is powerful, man. It's powerful. I know I haven't like fully tapped into that shit, but I know I'm better off than I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you get wiser
definitely,
with age.
definitely, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
I don't know that shit. Whoever posted that shit, and one of our FlightRoom podcasts is like, say what you want to say to yourself now. In 10 years, you can check back. You know what I'm saying? It was like some topic we like.
Oh yeah.
Say yourself like 10 years ago or something. He's like, say what you want to say now.
Yeah. What would you say?
Yeah, that was tough. Shout
Man. Yeah. Save your money for real. I would say that shit.
Save your chickens.
Yeah. Seriously, especially early too. Just because, like, even 10 years ago, when I think about the opportunities that were open in like business for, like, I'll say like the weed game, or even like we talking about crypto and shit. We're talking about all these different things now.
Yeah, but we just didn't know because
I saw flashes of stuff. I just didn't educate myself.
I know, but nobody knew. As far as like the crypto, like Bitcoin, like how do we know? Because we definitely
that's why I'm
we was
telling
touching
myself to save my
Bitcoin
money.
because I pulled my Coinbase like history up, and in 2016, 2017, I had like several Bitcoin. That shit's like that shit haunts me. So
wow,
we just had no idea what it did. We were just using we were just using that shit to like hide the money for sports betting on Superbook.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I remember from Superbook. But I still didn't know what it was.
But the thing is, Superbook is dead, but Bitcoin is alive.
BRB. Gotta get the baby smoke. BRB.
I would definitely tell myself to
wait, walk off like that.
I would definitely tell myself to
smug.
I would probably read more. I kind of neglected that kind of growing up. And now that I'm older, I see that that is probably one of the most powerful things that, for me, I can't speak for everybody. It'll humble you when you read some shit and it fuck with your soul right then and there. It'll get you. You were like, yo, this
it is.
Honestly,
that's the
reading is tight.
Honestly, reading is like another level.
When you read
of like,
go ahead.
Reading is like a whole nother frequency for real. Because you visualize what you're reading and you connect with that shit.
Right.
And it's crazy because like you get educated most of the time when you read something.
Yeah. But the thing that I feel like works with me the most is when I'm reading some shit that's like telling me about myself, like shit I didn't see about myself, and it's like, damn, I do be acting like that shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit shit hits hard though, because it's like, I don't know, it's almost like you learning from the guru damn near. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it gives you that opportunity to gain more understanding in the shit that you may not be able to see. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. So a lot of those,
it is funny.
It's an enlightening experience. Like you feel
it is.
Sometimes it can be overwhelming. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. Sometimes you be like,
it can be. They can be. You
be like, yo,
it can be.
And it's funny how different people can read the same thing, but it always relates to them in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? After you read something, that's what I mean. Like how it connects with you. Yeah, reading, that's hieroglyphics now, man. Motherfuckers don't read anymore.
I don't know if somebody said this, but like reading, like you can choose what you want to be into. It could be like a real super small niche, but like if you watch like TV, it's like all the same. You know what I'm saying? It's either this category or this category. You know what I'm saying? When you read, like you can.
Wait, what you mean?
Read,
I know what you're saying. I know what you mean.
You can read something so particular to what you're like, what you want to, what you're interested in. But like
Right.
when you on TV, you gotta pick through a small selection. Even though it's like a lot of selection, TV is like so many shows, so many movies. But reading is like even more like whatever you anything you want interested in.
Nigga, I read some shit on the cicadas the other day that had me reading that shit for like 45 minutes because it was just so fucking. It was nature at its finest. You know what I'm saying? And you learn and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like this is something that it was just crazy. But I'm just saying, it's crazy.
But I mean, even within that, like you were saying, like reading, I think it's definitely very is vital, man, because I think just expanding your understanding, awareness, all that shit, that's a confidence booster within itself, just because you know you're prepared for shit. You know what I'm saying? Your brain is already prepped for like what can come your way. You know what I'm saying? Or if a conversation comes off or whatever the fuck it may be, it's like you're already, it's like you're prepared. I don't know any other fucking way to put it. You know what I'm saying? But it is though. It just gives you like method, It's like, hold on, like this motherfucker's trying to fool me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what this is. I read this in a book. Like just any goddamn thing, anything.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I was reading something.
What y'all reading right now?
A week ago. Dang, what is it? Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, what y'all reading right now?
Let me see. What is this shit?
I've been audio booking.
Actually, I'm not reading. I mean, audio booking. That's reading. That's reading. That's to me. That's still reading.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, only because.
What are y'all reading right now?
It's
I'm not reading.
It's just an Ethiopian version of the Book of Enoch.
Wow, that's probably trippy.
Wow, you going all the way deep.
Oh, niggas in the remedial classes with the audio book.
I like audiobooks too. That's the same as reading. That's the same as reading.
The art of thinking clearly. By Rolf Dobelli.
That sounds heavy.
That's important though.
Yeah,
it's trippy, bro. It's basically de-learning everything that people taught you as you were growing up. And, it's crazy. One of the things is like when a kid asks, an adult, like, why this or why that or why are we doing this? And they just say, don't worry about it. Just go with it. Like it's basically telling you that through society, that's what adults have done, like throughout the whole, even every culture. And they say it's basically thwarting your growth, because everything that you say or ask as a kid, if somebody's saying, don't worry about it, or you'll find out when you get older, you're not learning. You know what I mean? And if you retain more information, they say you retain more information when you're 3 to 6 than ever in your entire rest of your life. So if all you're hearing is, you'll understand when you get older, or don't worry about it, or it's
whatever's the hot song on the radio.
Yeah, like just imagine that, like, and that's all you hearing, and then you gotta wait till you're older to actually understand that shit. That one blew me. I was like, damn.
All right, B. So what are you reading? And can you put that in the synopsis? I love how you did that, Shaq.
Yeah. It's called Enoch, the Ethiopian.
Okay.
Enoch.
I saw you had posted a video too. You want to expand on that?
Yeah. What's that about? In short,
it was a clip. It was like a 13-minute clip.
I mean, he basically was just saying how
these are the Bibles. These are the chapters that's not in the Bible. These are the books that's not in the Bible.
Right.
He's basically just enlightening how, like, I guess how we as humans we're scared to live with the understanding that we just don't know something. We always we have a thirst for knowledge. We have a thirst to always want to know. I want to know what time it is. I need to know all this information plus this information. And if I don't know that information, if you ask me a question that I don't know, I need to be able to look at my phone, type that shit in, and be able to know right then and there. We need to know we're a knowledge-driven civilization. And what happens is that we create this sense of like we can't it's okay not to. It's okay to understand that you just don't know something, because what happens is you start to create. When we don't know something, we create gods, or we create religions, because based off of we just don't know. What do we know about God?
I know what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? We don't
I
know.
know what you're
It's
trying to say.
okay. It's okay not to not have an understanding of something. And when you accept that, you can live more freely. Like I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I simply just don't. But guess what? We have agendas for this week and the next week and the week after that and this that, because we have to be in the know. And it was just more of like a meditation on. Like I was just talking about, more like living in the now instead of the past and the future. That's all. But that shit, like you said, Lighthouse, that shit is not easy though, especially for the average person who you just tell that to. You know, I'm like, yo, you gotta stop doing this. You gotta start living in the now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's better. It's much easier said than done. I mean, you got niggas who try to been practicing that shit for years and still don't know how to do that shit. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm. What audiobook you listening to?
That was on Amazon?
Nope. I said
P. Oh,
P.
you said P. Oh.
Yeah. Where you
What'd you say?
What audiobook you listen? You say you listen to audiobooks. What audiobook listen to?
I don't even have nothing on deck right now. Just because I've been slacking,
recently.
but I was listening to The Spook.
The Spook was Sat by the Door?
Yeah.
I got a question about that, bro.
What, the CIA or what, their infiltration?
Nah, all right. So you peep at the end of Snowfall, the very last season. His father was reading.
I'm on it. I'm on it right now. I just caught up with all that shit.
Oh damn! I ain't
remember we was talking about it last time. No, remember we was talking about it last time. And I said I was catching up.
Yeah.
No, but you can go ahead for the episode. Go ahead.
Nah, but like at the very end, he was like reading the junk, and then it cut off. So I'm thinking like maybe he gonna be like an employee now. That's what the Spook bus. He was like
by the door. Yep.
He was like a black CIA director, and then he was like recruited. Yeah, so.
And then he started like teaching everybody that same shit in his community. Or whatever.
Actually, on one of Nipsey Hussle's like reading this.
Oh yeah, so that's why because I love Nip. That is why I got into it. That was one I forgot about a long time ago too. He got like a 10 book list right now for the whole
I've read a little bit of it at first.
Do y'all think there's a real life one? Do y'all think there's a real life Spook who sat by the door? And if there is, who do y'all think it would be?
Ooh, this is a bar. I think every if
like all them drug.
Yeah, if you're going by the
but it's not a lot of them.
That book.
Huh? Not at all.
I think so. I think like
I
don't think like directly. I don't think like directly like related that had that title. You know what I'm saying? That got to that point, because it's also like maybe fiction with sprinkled with some truth. But I do think like certain people when they get to that level, you dancing with the devil. Rayful Edmond, like he was a snitch. Nicky Barnes, he was a snitch. Yep. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Who was White Boy Rick? White Boy Rick had that shit.
White Boy Rick, they enticed them and then they flipped on them. Like, that was the whole story we got. Yeah.
They playing, just like you said, how they been playing with it.
All that. Ricky, the real Rick Ross, he'll tell you, like, this CIA agent from Mexico, part of the cartel. He was part of the cartel first. CIA recruited him. They did their thing in LA, like he would tell you firsthand. You know what I'm saying? That's who put him in jail. So so I don't know.
Exactly. And that's always the root of that shit too.
Yeah. They put the drama in the streets. So
yeah, they push it. And then when it starts getting out of control, you start getting power off of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh shit.
I know it sounded like he just got
Yeah.
he muted himself. But yeah,
I was like, what just happened? I was like,
right. they definitely they present the problem and they solve it on both ends.
exactly.
Tom Cruise had the movie. He was flying cocaine in and was above all the law.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Untouchable.
I remember that dude. That part where he got locked up.
Made in America. He was like, "Do y'all know who I am? Like, I'm gonna make one phone call to Bill Clinton and I'm gonna be out of here. You're a fucking piece of shit."
For real, they were laughing at him.
You're a fucking piece of shit. He was gone.
Forgot about that shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing.
Those are true stories. Even Cocaine Cowboys had CIA shit, FBI shit.
What's the one Johnny Depp played too?
What Donnie Brasco?
Yeah, Donnie Brasco.
Yep.
But he wasn't working with them. But
I think it was DEA.
Hey, maybe I might be late on this. Did you know that you guys probably know, but it just fucked me up the other day. That Siri backward is Iris?
Who?
Siri spelled backwards is Iris.
Iris, okay.
Like eye.
And it's always looking at your eye. And then looking at your eye all the time. Your retina display.
That shit crazy.
And Corey was just talking about that shit. Snapping pictures of you.
That's what I was gonna say. Like piggyback off what he was saying. That shit crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Just that's watching your always.
Iris.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. They know what they doing.
Didn't even peep that.
Hey, you know what's crazier?
What?
You know how we know like pyramids and hold on, let me airdrop the shit to the computer. Pyramids, obelisks, you know, that all CNN, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know they got that like at Area 51. Like
they got that there?
Yeah, they rebuilt it.
How you know?
I got pictures, my guy.
Let me see.
Showtime.
Oh, memento.
Showtime line.
Huh?
You been on this or you just found it out?
I've been on this. You know, I'd be doing all the type.
I'm just asking how long you knew.
Did you see the one time when the guy
like
built the pyramids in his backyard?
Yeah, we talked about that before. A coral castle.
Yeah, that was on like Bryce.
Like the 9th world.
Yeah, Florida.
He said he used like the technology of the Egyptians. Yeah, it's all about like electromagnetism, how they use like the polarity of the pole and you know what I'm saying to lift stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, start kind of reading the book about that electromagnetism.
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, what's the power behind it? Is that the teleportation?
I guess everybody gotta have like electricity. Like I mean, when you like go to like not to get dark funerals, like they don't have like no spark in them. You know what I'm saying? They just like you just look at the body, you know it's dead. Probably.
Yeah, no soul in there.
Corey.
Yeah, what's he?
You know that body.
Because the skin ain't even lit up.
Exactly.
Yeah, they just So that's what I'm saying. Electricity, current. I heard somebody say that's why they call it currency. So that shit got right.
Could it move?
All right, it's like a power.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Picture.
What do you guys? So, all right. So let me ask you: do you guys think that the stronger your body is, if the healthier a person is, The healthier a person is.
Home B.
Yeah,
Corey,
go
stop
ahead.
slamming your damn cup. I heard that shit like 20 times one episode.
That's my bad.
You keep slamming your cup with the ice. With the
I didn't slam it. I was leaning on it.
No, you always slam that cup.
I didn't slam it. I didn't slam it.
I think it was like episode like 55 or some shit. You kept slamming that damn cup of ice, and that shit was just killing me.
I was saying. So do you guys think that the healthier a person is, the more connected they are, the more connection they will be able to have spiritually? Like a healthier person is.
I believe that.
You believe that a healthy person is able to have more of a spiritual connection than a person whose health is diminished?
Yeah, I believe that.
All right, so
if they're seeking for that spiritual, that connection or whatever.
The reason why
you can be healthy and doing shit.
The reason why I asked that is because the reason why I asked that is because the so-called war on the spiritual warfare. I think that a lot of people I think that what we put into our bodies as far as the food, and we know how like the healthcare industry, like the shit that's in the food is degrading us over time and deliberately. And I think that they're doing that because deliberately, like putting shit in our food to make us. It's like a form.
I mean, we talk about how Tylenol take away empathy.
Yeah, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel as though they know that I feel as though they know that the goal is to let's weaken them by what they put into their bodies, because so that they can no longer be as strongly connected to their spirituality, which ultimately, you know what I'm saying, because spiritually, if people were to connect, they can like overthrow governments or overthrow these things.
That's
you know what I'm saying. And I think that's what spiritual warfare is.
That's what it is, to make us more docile and go along with this shit.
Right.
Tied in with all the distractions, everything you go through on a day-to-day, just trying to make it out here, like just draining you. I don't know about y'all, but do y'all just feel more tired over the past year? Nigga, we are like 6 months into 2021.
Yeah, already.
2020 was just like 3 weeks ago. Didn't it feel like?
That's what it feels like.
How are we 6 months into 2021 and then 2020 felt like, so long?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Time is moving. Time is moving so fast. Like, time is moving.
Quick question though: Are y'all talking about people as a whole, or you're talking about black people?
I'm talking about people as a whole.
I'm talking about me. I can't talk about nobody else. I'm talking about me.
Mm-hmm. So to that point, if y'all look up alkaline diet, if you look up the alkaline diet, it actually is supposed to help you spiritually and be in tune with your body, and it actually says that you understand your purpose, and you can speak, you know what I'm saying, spiritually without talking, out of your mouth. It's almost like a perception type thing. But just look up alkaline diet. That shit's crazy, bro. Like
just a Dr. Sebi stuff.
Yeah,
but like I'm saying, like we were also led to believe that like we're made up of cells, but we actually are made up of cells, but we're also made up of more bacteria than actual cells. That's why like chlorine and stuff is actually really, really bad for our bodies. It's like really fucking bad. Chlorine is like one of the worst things you can ingest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't know that, bacteria was always, you was taught in school, okay, your body is made up of cells, but they never tell you that, what I'm saying, you're actually made up of more bacteria than actual cells, and which is bacteria is a lot more. That's why you get bacterial infections and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, because your stomach, that's all you got in your stomach is bacteria, so you can break down all of the.
And guess what? One's the largest organ in your body is your gut, right?
Intestine,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, intestines,
Made up
all
of
that.
all fucking bacteria and
Yeah,
everything.
Yep.
Straight bacteria.
bacteria, acids, all that shit.
They know that. They know what they doing, yo.
Hmm.
They know exactly what the fuck they doing. No
I wonder,
facts.
I wonder how doctors like. I wonder how doctors feel because it's like it's almost like an empowering type thing to know everything about the body. You know what I'm saying? Like I
I
wonder how many
know.
people when they
I
know
always sit, I
every
always think
in and
about
out.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like almost like too much power.
like how are you that accurate to the point you're just never fucking wrong in an emergency pressure situation? You just know how to connect this artery to this vein. Like I don't know how they can, like, because you don't get too many situations where you can even practice that type of shit.
Yeah, because don't
So
you
you
feel
just
like
like,
at that point, like, don't you feel like you're like a superhuman or something? Because you know
right.
everything
You're,
about the body and how to
you're
fix.
literally you're literally trusting your instincts, man, all the way on that. Yeah,
I
that's
can't
fake.
even imagine that. That's just crazy.
Nah,
Hmm.
that's next level.
I don't know. They got specialists, so it's different. It's different sections. Everybody is a doctor, but it's different. It's different shit that they do. So I don't know. Like my wife,
I know what you're saying.
she's yeah, because my wife is a radiologist. She doesn't even see fucking patients. She just sees images on the screen and shit, X-rays and whatever
Mm-hmm.
the fuck, MRIs, CT scans and shit. So, but it's different. It's different. You know, it's different shit.
So imagine
But I get it though.
imagine a doctor that like operates on like 5 people every day, and like he has to know like what connects to what artery and how your heart is gonna beat
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
That's
what I mean.
that's a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot,
Even
bro.
even how they break down the medications, what medication would fuck somebody up
Yeah,
after the procedure or something, like already predicting that. That's crazy too.
yeah.
Like you just
That's
gotta.
a
It's a.
power trip too.
Well,
Like they imagine them
Oh yeah,
going home after they didn't save 5 people and maybe
bro.
even might have lost one. Like
That,
how do you go about your everyday life after you didn't save 5 lives and then lost a life?
yeah,
Like you know what I mean?
please.
Like, how? Like
That
that?
ego. That
I be
ego is
thinking about that
probably
too.
so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Can't even imagine. But
crazy.
it's not always bad. I feel like some, people that do that as a profession and save people are genuinely in it to save people and, try to change that landscape of death. So I don't always want to say it's ego, but it is those out there that's
Yeah,
like assholes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah, they do take it to the head. That that doctor title is earned and paid for. So I ain't mad at you.
But I always think it's kind of crazy, and that's kind of why I always think that like God makes everybody just different. Like we just all have things, the skills. Like it's certain jobs somebody has to do that shit. So you know what I'm saying? It's like cutting people open. That's not some shit I want to do. But
Yeah.
God made it an ability for other people to do that. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and there's certain things I might do that another person be like, I'm not doing that shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like every task, every aspect. I was talking to somebody the other day, like them window washing niggas. Like nigga,
Yeah.
some of them buildings be tall as shit. I don't know about just dangling off the side of skyscraper, dog. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know,
That's
but people
real.
do that shit. People do that every day. So that's what I'm saying. People go to the military. I mean, but then this is funny though because I actually heard Judge. Now, what do y'all think about this? Because Judge Joe Brown said that, and he was saying that you could turn the average everyday citizen into a killer. So like even sometimes people will say, "Oh, you have to take a special kind of person to become one." But does it really take a special kind of person, or is that something that's innate in everybody, and it just takes a certain circumstance to wake that up in you?
Yeah.
What do y'all
I
think
feel
about
like
that shit? You know what I'm
I feel
saying?
like that's actually embedded in everybody too. Anybody can flip like that. I
Yeah,
do
but
believe that.
resistance
And,
It
and,
depends.
and not And not just that, but he was saying it like in the military back in the day, the Civil War used to be regular everyday people who just picked up a fucking musket and went to fucking battle. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas, some of them probably was fucking war legends, and they was carpenters and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Probably, you know what I'm saying? If you look them up in regular books, like Homeboy came out there was just a natural. You know what I'm saying? And he never shot. You know what I'm saying? Like you just. It's kind of crazy how, like, you know, that when he said it, I was like, damn, he kind of right though. Like, you probably, you know, based on the situation, you can get used to doing that shit, you know. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I can see that too. I can see that, especially when you understand and know you're good at something. Please, you always want to follow through with that.
Yeah, I think everybody has I think everybody has it in them. But I think it's also like your, you know, in the circumstances, your fight or flight, your body's natural response to, okay, do I need to protect myself? You know what I'm saying? Right. Am I in harm's way? Is my family or the people that I love? Do I need to protect them? You know, yeah, for sure.
Because even in that moment when you're a doctor, let's say you're going through your training, I don't know exactly. I'm talking about like a surgeon, rather. Let's say you're a surgeon. Like that first moment you put that blade into somebody, like what, you know what I'm saying? Do you have that confidence within yourself that very first time that, you know, like I'm literally, you know what I'm saying? Like what I always wonder what that, we should bring a doctor on the fucking show for real.
Hey, listen,
yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be. You know what I'm saying?
I'm around residents
because I always wonder that, like the first time you see you cut somebody in blood, you know what I'm saying? Like what goes through, like you know what I mean?
So me too, especially like somebody that's trusting you with their life. You know what I'm saying? Under anesthesia or something like that. Like just the risk of you knowing that shit and you having to come through. That's a pressure situation.
Yo,
like,
so I'm around a lot of doctors, and I'm a lot of and I have the
Marcus.
I'm around residents as well. First year residents, fresh out of residency school, right? They've never operated before. These motherfuckers be scared, yo. They be scared.
I'm sure, yo. That's the part I want to know. Like
that's huge.
They be
Another
shaking.
human.
You know what I'm saying? I could see it, and I'm always, you know what I'm saying, and I'll always see them because I'll be like, you got your first case today? I'll be like, you knock them dead, and they like, oh, yeah, I know, right? You know, and I'm like, yo, relax, it's gonna be all right.
But why you say that? Knock them dead.
I know, right?
You a petty nigga.
I do it all the time. I know, right? But it kind of lightens the mood, though. It lightens the mood a little bit. But yeah, it's not easy, man. That's like you said, Lighthouse. That just wouldn't be for me. It's just that's got to be tough, yo.
I wouldn't want that pressure. That's too much pressure for me, yo. So just but like I'm talking about, all right, it's one thing if you're in a situation, you gotta do what you gotta do. But if it's every day, like I feel like that's a lot of pressure, dog. You know, right. But I mean, at the same time, you know, I guess they, you know, like I said, everybody got skills and abilities. You know, it is what it is.
Doctors sign up for that shit.
You know, somebody got to do that shit. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got this. It's a job for everybody. It's a job for everybody, bro.
You're right. It's just even after, but when you take the L's though, that's when the trauma and all that shit happens. So it's like. I want to know, I want to know what responsibilities you have to take after you do that shit. Like, do they make you go through like therapy and
probation
like
or something? Yeah,
you know what I mean, like different type of exercise.
That's a good question.
Yeah, real talk.
Cases go wrong.
I be thinking about that.
A lot of the times, well, you talking about actual fatality.
I mean, like, say like you're performing a surgery or something. Yeah, and it goes wrong, and
so it happens. It happens a lot,
right?
But put it like this: it happens a lot just from the standpoint of like, let's say you're on an airplane, right? Let's say you're on an airplane, right? The pilot is flying the plane. All that you know that you took off at Dulles, and guess what? You landed in Mexico. You don't know what may have happened along the way. All you know is that you landed at your destination safely, right? But let's say the engine went out. You never knew. Why? Because it was a fail switch. You know what I'm saying? There was the secondary option, and if the secondary option don't work, then the third option. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there are things that happen along surgery. No surgery is technically quote unquote a perfect surgery. Okay, it just does not happen that way. You know,
you gotta be able to react.
Right. You know, so things go wrong in the surgery, but guess what? Is as long as like nothing's perfect, especially in the operating room.
And you know what? That's some real shit. That's real shit. Cause
you know,
I got 3 kids, and I just even all 3 of my kids, and my wife giving birth, like there was always something. You know what I'm saying? It was just like always something. Just you know, it just wasn't smooth every time. But it's always like kind of like literally the doctors reading and reacting, like just like he just said,
right?
Reading and reacting. It almost seemed just like that, you know, and that was real.
Hell yeah, that is some real shit though, man. And I want to know what they be doing with their nerve, like just to have their nerves together, all that shit. That's stressful.
Yeah, that's not easy.
You got a good doctor too. When shit in the midst of that shit, it's not looking good right now. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? That the patient never knows.
The
patient will never know.
The doctor, we had the same doctor for all 3, and man, she's a beast, dog. Like I'm trying to tell you, I'm like her. She don't get like she just smooth, dog. Like I don't know what it is, but I trust her. Like you know,
right?
Like I trust her, and I remember like even one time when the last baby was born. Like there was like a little tension, like a little disagreement in there, and she just settled that shit, and they still delivered it. I don't know. You just had to be there. It was like, young, this is a cold ass this Indian lady. I'm like, young, this lady is a cold ass doctor right here. Yep. Like she knows what she doing.
Yep.
Like for real.
You know, women, they gotta be even more on that shit. They did, you know, they don't even play with.
But she was on point.
Remember that was like a profession back in the day, like what they call them, midwife. Yeah, midwife, that was a profession, like a super like noble, you know, profession.
That's the shit. Yeah, that's man. I think that stuff is.
That's a little different.
That's like a lost, like you know, skill, right?
Yeah.
I know, but that's like a beautiful thing. That's something that should be like really paying attention to. You giving birth to children. That's nothing more. You know, that's the most what's the word? Vulnerable. You know, what I'm saying moment that you can have. Like you know,
right.
Gotta make sure that shit is right.
That shit probably like we were talking about earlier. That's shit probably like skydiving. Like after a certain point in time, it's just routine.
It's a big ass difference though from a midwife from a doctor. Though. It's a big ass difference.
No,
right. I think it's like more like feeling.
I mean, I know.
It's a big ass
like
the intimate. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's probably protecting her, like just massaging her, like while she's giving birth, kind of like you know, and because you never know the emotional state the mother might be in while she's giving birth might affect the emotional state the baby's in while it's born.
Like third world countries, they had like midwives, and that's all they had. You know what I'm saying? Like one midwife for like the whole community.
Difference from a doctor.
I know what you're saying.
Because in those countries, they're not having doctors, you know, travel out to you. You have that jump right then and there in your community, and there's a community midwife.
To me, a midwife is just like someone to just give you what do you call it, emotional or whatever, just to push you through it.
More than that, it's like setting. You know how they be doing like in water. They'll like set the water temperature.
You're right though.
Telling you how to breathe.
I could be wrong though, but I think you're right, Corey, because even sometimes during the actual birth, there's a doctor there with the midwife. I don't think it's usually the midwife just be there by themselves. I think I could be wrong though.
You gotta always have a doctor in those situations.
Midwife skipped out on at least 8 years, at least 8 years of schooling on medical shit or whatever. At least 8 years on medical schooling or whatever the fuck. At least. But, you know what I'm saying?
All right, but would it be like what would be better? A new doctor out of school or a midwife been doing it for 20 years? In the jam. What you gonna prefer?
Where are you delivering?
Oh, in the jam, I'm taking the midwife.
Yeah, exactly.
The midwife. Hey, midwife, get your ass in here.
Bro. Where you at? You see
that's real
this?
You can
shit.
have as
That's
much
real.
school as you want. You got as much school as you want. You gonna take the
You can
midwife
go
moving
there.
off
You
vibes
seen
and
this back in
experience.
'98?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
been in this situation 1,000 times. She's been in
Before
this
they had
situation
all that.
1,000 times.
Delivering in
Hey,
for
hey,
hospital.
look,
That's my
I'd have
question.
seen it all.
Well,
Right.
I need one of those.
Yeah.
The good times and the bad times.
I'll take that any day, though. Real talk, because those be the ones that have the craziest situations too, and probably have lesser resources
Right.
to handle shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And they probably be more calm, and they be more calm and cool and collective in those moments too. So, yeah.
And has done it many times over. So hell yeah, I'm going with that too. But you're right. Back in those days, they did have that in the community, like a
Right.
community,
It wasn't a
like
that was
doctor.
like a regular
grandmother.
thing.
Yeah, like
A doctor was
yeah,
probably like for niggas that had money or they needed a favor or something like that.
right.
That
But they
couldn't
did
be
always have that.
accessible
Yeah.
at all.
Yep. It was just that nurturing spirit type.
Like you used to watch some
somebody
old
just
movies
take
and
care of
the doctor used to come by with his little bag and shit, and then his glasses. Like this nigga was the freshest dressed in there. Like you think he
Yep.
just hanging
House
around?
call.
Nah,
them.
you had to
House
pay
call.
that
Dr.
man to
Quinn.
come through. Probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dr. Quinn
that's a
medicine
very
on him.
sacred time, though. Being giving birth, that is a very spiritual
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
right there. Because if you go further back, like I mean, like if you watch like some of the older movies that they depict, like they doing like a ceremony or like a ritual as that's happening. You know what I'm saying? And
The
it's that
highest of
old,
who's
and it's
who's
the
there.
old lady that's there to help to deliver the baby. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so it goes more to
Every
say
time.
what y'all saying.
The
Man,
village caretaker.
Yeah.
House calls. House calls.
What's this nigga talking? What is this nigga talking?
House calls.
House calls.
That's what they call it, man. House
Hey,
calls.
if let me ask you a question. If you wanted to pass information into the future, let's say like 1,000 years from now, how would you do it? If you wanted to pass it along,
You said
in
pass
what way would you go
information
about? Yeah, if you wanted to pass information
1,000
on,
years into the future.
yep.
I
How
think
would you
they
do it?
already be done. If it's 1,000 years from now,
future. You saying
1,000
into
years,
the future or to back to the past?
into the future, because like let's say for example,
1,000
like
years from now is fuck.
but
No matter
what
what
I'm
I
saying
say,
is like
1,000 years from now is fuck.
like you wouldn't want to write it because you know what I'm saying your books can be destroyed. So like that, you know what I'm saying, like and you wouldn't want to
The answer is I have no idea because I don't know how these niggas are communicating. We're communicating on email, text, and telephone
Oh yeah,
right
they're gonna have all that neural.
but what
Yeah,
I'm
no
saying,
idea
all
what
of
the
that
fuck
shit
they
can be
really
manipulated
communicate.
though.
That's what I'm saying. But 1,000 years from now, niggas are fuck. If I want to say something 10 years from now, that's probably more likely. But
Yeah,
1,000 years from now,
I have no idea how they'll be communicating.
the way we moving
We
right
speak
now,
on microwaves.
I don't think we're gonna be even alive 1,000 years from now.
Nah, we'll be alive 1,000 years.
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah, we will.
Shit is moving too quick, bro.
Nah, we will. We will. The only reason why we wouldn't be alive is if the sun would fucking explode, and that's not gonna happen for 1 billion years. But niggas will be out here, whether niggas are getting exploited, whether niggas are getting exploited, slaved out, whatever the fuck. Niggas will be.
That's what I was about to say. I think we're gonna be here.
Niggas will be here.
I don't think
it's gonna be a restart.
I don't think we're gonna be gone, but
it's gonna be some type of restart.
Be super slave the fuck out though. It possible that's being after God. That's what I'm saying. Only God can do that. But as long as man is on the trajectory, as long as man is on the trajectory that he's on, like we just gonna get. It don't matter, nigga. It's gonna be a slave. We're gonna get super slaved out. That's what I think. The shit is gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse until inactive God comes in and destroy it. When I say active God, I mean like it can be a great flood. It can be fucking an asteroid hits Earth. I don't fucking know, but it has to be some shit that's beyond what men can do. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that? Go ahead, Simo. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, unless it's a reason for all the white folks to go to Mars right now, unless it's a reason for all the white folks that got the money to go to Mars, because I'm pretty sure we already have been explored Mars and all that other shit, whatever fuck with all the technology we got and shit. But I'm pretty sure if with all the money out here, unless all the white folks go out there joint, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna be here, dog. Niggas will be here. Niggas will be here. So
Be on Mars.
and I'm talking about 1,000 years from now. Niggas will be here. Niggas will be here. Unless they fuck up the oxygen and the water that bad or whatever, niggas will be here. Niggas will be here.
Lighthouse, do you think that right now, today, do you think we are in need of divine intervention, or do you think that we can recover on our own?
Well, what do you mean by divine intervention?
Like you said, like a flood or some type of divine intervention. Like, do you think that we need a reset button? The reset needs to be hit right now.
You mean a cataclysm? You mean a cataclysm?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah. I mean, but I think at any given moment, I think, you know, if people start to understand, I mean, you know, change their mindset, you know, and understand that, like, you know, these systems that we live in is really what's causing a lot of our, you know, destruction and shit. So I think if we start to live outside of these systems, and, you know, I guess you can say, just develop a mindset of abundance and just trying to grow and build. Like, we're all builders, you know what I'm saying? We all have the ability to create. That's why I guess you would say, you know, we're the apex creatures on earth and shit like that, because of our ability to create. So it's like, if you create something positive that can benefit other people, and every fucking person on the planet had that mindset, then yeah, we'd be fine. But you know, because niggas don't know that, then we're gonna be slave. We're gonna be slave the fuck out, you know. So that's how I look at that shit. So yeah, I think and the sad thing is, I kind of really don't believe that it's gonna have to take an act of God, because I think we as humans, even though it is not nature to do evil, I think a lot of us are embracing the evil and kind of like making excuses for the evil. You know what I'm saying? And I think because of that, I think that like kind of like why I kind of don't think we have the ability, you know what I'm saying, to change our mindset, because it's, you know what I'm saying, it's like you kind of defend the sins that you do and shit per se. So I really don't believe that. I don't believe that shit at all. I think we're going to fucking how, you know what I'm trying to say though? It's like you're making excuses.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. It's a sad truth, but it's the goddamn truth.
But
yeah, that's what I mean.
He said you said we're the apex predators on Earth.
Yeah, because we're conscious.
But the funny thing is, and I agree with him, but what I think that what he should say is we're the apex predators on the dirt anyway. Because when we go into the water, we don't even know what the fuck is down there, motherfucker. We don't know what the fuck.
But we don't have to go. So that's why, I mean, we have the choice. Like,
that's what I mean. It don't matter.
Like animals that live there have no choice to live there. We have the complete capability
with the option to go air, land, sea. We can do it
in this realm.
We can go to fucking space. We can do all this shit. Some niggas can only stay in the water, and that's it.
But apparently, apparently we need water. We need water, and apparently we're running out of
we ain't drinking no seawater.
We got to do something with it. If we run out of fresh water, what is it? 70% of the earth is seawater. 70% of the earth is at least ocean salt water.
Allegedly.
Ain't no allegedly, nigga.
Bro, they can put a little fucking bullshit straw in the swamp and drink clean water. I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh, goddamn. All right.
But yeah, but like you were saying, bro, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that we as humans, due to the state that, like, you know, kind of like what Thanos was on, he was like, y'all niggas is foul, so y'all need to be exterminated and start the fuck over. Like, so you think, like, but let's say, like God, if that's how God felt about the current state of man, like, do you think that we're at a place right now where we can either fix this shit and live and, you know, then I guess live in God's grace, or do you think he's just gonna have to just, you know, restart this shit all over again, just gonna give us a great flood, you know, and then let us start from scratch?
I definitely think that it's coming. I think that it's coming.
How soon?
Oh shit! What you mean? You think the restart is coming?
I think it's it won't be our lifetime, but
yeah, because
I think it's coming though.
Yeah, but
But I also think it's going to come in a way.
There's plans in place. There's
I think it's
plans in
going to
place.
come in a way that we aren't expecting. Though it's going to come in it's not going to be like a conventional way. It's going to come. It's going to happen in a way where it's like, oh shit, like you know what I'm saying. We didn't even realize that it was happening. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's going to be like the fire and brimstone and flood and earthquake, and I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be more of a who knows?
Battle of
maybe
war that
yeah, maybe it's a change.
Almost the whole planet.
Right? Who's to say
a natural disaster?
Who's to say that it's a
man-made natural disaster?
Planetorial alignment, which offsets the frequency of the Earth.
That's
and
what
now,
they say.
And now all of a sudden, like the frequency that it takes to live on Earth completely changes, but only these sets of people have that frequency or vibrate at that frequency. Everybody else, you know, on some like next level crazy shit.
But that's what they say happened last time.
The downfall of man will be man, not what.
The downfall of man is always man,
or nature or all of the shit. It's just we just fucking up ourselves.
Yeah, I watched that Love and Robot show on Netflix. That was the first episode.
Yeah, that first
That's
episode.
what they were talking about.
Crazy.
And it was robots talking shit about humans, just laughing that shit up. Like, damn, they destroyed themselves by polluting their own planet.
That is a crazy series.
Yeah, that is a crazy ass show too.
What's the name of it?
Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, Love, Death, and Robots. Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
I know y'all watched that shit.
Yeah, I just finished that joint last week, yo.
Yeah, after I was texting you about that shit, I watched that whole thing.
The very last one was cold. Just to end it that way, I was like, oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. But that's what it is, though. A lot of that shit is like fucking spot on. You just have to know and be on the frequency of things and like seeing what it is, read between the lines of this shit.
Yep.
But wow, yeah, that show is a hitter. I'm gonna watch them again because some of the episodes were just so short. Like I like how they do that shit too.
Hey, Lighthouse, I remember this is a couple years ago. When you had first told me about the Hermetic laws and the as above, so below. Yo, I can never not like. Whenever I'm like pondering about shit, I always kind of revert back to Hermetic laws. It's crazy, like because I find them to be so. It's kind of hard to get away from them joints. It's it's crazy because it's like they have so much relevance.
Right. It's explain the Hermetic laws.
It's.
I mean, it's about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just some immutable laws and mutable laws. So certain things that like no matter what happens, you can't change it. This is always going to be true. This is going to always exist in the universe. It's like shit like that is so even the concept of as above, so below. There's always a microcosm to a macrocosm, which means that there's always going to be something bigger. There's always going to be something smaller. It's like just things like that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's things where it's polarity. Like the I think the immutable, polarity. Yeah, exactly. There's always going to be an extreme in to every frequency has an extreme. You know, you're gonna always have the hot, you're gonna always have the cold, you're gonna have the frozen. It's like that exists in everything. The law of gender, there's a masculine and feminine principle to everything that exists. You know what I'm saying? It's like things like that. Yeah, rhythm, law of correspondence, all that shit.
Yep.
But yeah. But what was I saying? But yeah, man, that shit is deep. And it's like when you learn the laws, it's like you got to try to see the shit. And then, don't get me wrong, I don't actively be on this shit like all the fucking time. So I don't be like every day like the principles and shit like that. But what I'm saying is like if you want to actually tap into and understand that this shit is real, you got to every day like literally like think like, okay, like I think I even use this example for like somebody say something negative to you. Now you have to say like whatever that negative word was, and you have to find the opposite polarity of that and then say that opposite polarity back to them, and it will like just cut the whole, it will kill the energy. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit do be working, you know what I'm saying? But what yeah, but I'm telling you, but this shit do, it's like it's like you have to try to find the polarity in everything. It's like you use the opposite. Somebody use negative to you, use the opposite polarity, positive. Now you flip that negative word into a positive. You use the opposite. So it's like a good way to do it, especially with that, is to look up words and just see the synonyms, or not synonyms, the antonyms. Like use the same at the very opposite. The antonyms of every fucking word. So then you'll understand the different polarities. It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But that's just one example of the shit. But yeah, you're right though. The rhythm, all that shit, man. Just
vibration,
the pendulum swing, polarity, and all that shit. You know, pendulum swing is like when you have a lot of energy focused in one way, is always going to create, like, you know, it's going to push back. So it's like if we had like Black Lives Matter right now, and then it's like all of a sudden now you're going to have these opposite groups. It's like if you have a white supremacy, now you're going to get a pro-black. You know what I'm saying? It's the pendulum swing. You have you're always going to get an opposition of that. You see what I'm saying? It's like no matter what, you're going to by you creating a team, you're going to get a fucking enemy. You know what I'm saying? You create a team, now you have somebody diverse now. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other. That makes sense. But yeah, that's some of the shit. But I don't even know what was the point though. What was the point?
No, I was just saying that just the mere fact that just how relevant it still technically is. I just find myself sometimes when I'll never forget when you first said that. I was like, what the fuck is Hermetic law? Like, what is that? And then when I looked into it, I'm like, oh man, and I'm telling you,
my cousin told me about that shit like years ago, and he was like, man, you should read into that shit. And I was like, okay, I'll see about it, but I never paid it no mind. I don't know how. One day I was like surfing on the internet, and then I just randomly came across that shit, and then I just started reading it from the very first beginning. That shit just pulls you in. It does, because it'd be like it'd be like if you find this, it said you know, this book ain't for everybody. If you can even just resonate with it, that means you're chosen and shit. Like, who the fuck don't want to hear that shit? It's like, oh shit, all right, well, tell me more. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That book,
can I show y'all some trippy shit? Can I show y'all some trippy shit?
Yeah, good.
All right. So I seen this joint talking about you can do for 30 seconds every day, for 30 seconds in a certain part of the earth. You see the moon or whatever. Like, just
what?
All right, let me just show you the joint.
Just send a link, cuz.
No, I don't know the link.
Okay.
Boom.
That's like Alaska or some shit, right?
I don't know where the
I'm not seeing this video. It's gonna black out, right? I think
yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's the fucking moon, bro.
It's gonna black out though. Yeah.
There you go. It and I'm gonna come back, bro.
I think this the part that look fake.
I
know.
But you said that's in Alaska, right? Ain't that how they live out there?
Yeah, I said that, but I think there are some parts that do.
The moon. Like, yeah, ain't there like some shit like they got?
It's like 30 days of night.
Like,
yeah. And also, it's like crazy, it's a day where like the lights stay on for like 36 hours too.
But dog, that's some
like in that movie Midsommar.
Trippy as fuck, bro.
Midsommar is a straight up occult movie.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Straight up occult movie, and then the movie he did before that, John, Hereditary, straight up occult movie, crazy. Super occult movie.
Yeah.
Crazy occult movie.
Make you feel.
You know that's the same director that did There's Something Wrong with the Johnsons, that weird ass black movie. That's the same nigga that made that jump.
Really?
That jump that people say don't watch.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
You never see?
I ain't seen it.
Have you seen two Girls No Cup? I mean, Two Girls One Cup.
Oh yeah. I've seen that.
The jump. There's Something Wrong with the Johnsons is like a movie just like that, but like on some weird shit. It was like you never thought like black people.
Yeah, I never thought that I'd see a movie that was shot in complete light that was just so weird. I'm like, everything took place in the daytime.
Yep.
And this shit is just still like.
Are you talking about Midsommar?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, that shit is wild.
Hey, but you know what?
Midsummer
You know what's
yeah.
a cool thing about Midsummer? Isn't that like a good reflection as far as like movies on like how mushrooms like affect you? When she had her hand in the grass,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, that's like a good representation of what like
And like you feel in tune with nature.
yeah.
You're like,
There's,
oh
there's
shit.
not too many movies that do like mushroom. Yeah.
reflection.
Hey, why don't you do some shrooms and then just go around some cicadas and shit? Like just wear like a whole bush of tree. Like go just like
Hey,
just, can you
there,
imagine
hey,
being on shrooms and then like just sitting under a tree full of cicadas?
there's like a
That would be
post on
funny,
that
dog.
Moco show. So trifling with the cicadas.
And then they start making that noise. Oh,
About Walter
hell
Gum.
no.
They always making that noise.
Nigga,
But you
these
probably
joints
And
is-
guess what?
you probably see
I
the
have not
videos.
seen one cicada in Manassas. Not one. I have not seen
Like, I'm about
one.
to show you the most gross
You
video.
serious? Nigga,
I
that
haven't
shit
seen
is
one.
everywhere.
Manassas
Nigga, that
Manassas
shit is
ain't
fucking
northeast.
everywhere.
Manassas ain't northeast. That's why. That's why you ain't seen them.
Nigga,
Manassas ain't northeast. They are out here,
Nigga,
bro.
them shits
They are
is
out here.
everywhere, bro.
They're out
Like
here.
they out here, nigga.
Making
When I be
the-
driving,
Northeast.
nigga, I
They're out
probably,
here.
Look at that.
nigga, I probably
Look at
killed
this shit.
about 10.
Yeah.
I probably killed about 10 to 12 of them joints a day just driving, nigga. Just hitting the fucking
Look how
windshield.
trifling that is, bro.
Just hitting
That
the
shit is
windshield.
trifling.
Time out.
Like roaches. They northeast,
like
bro.
roaches.
It's northeast. It's not no Virginia shit. You know what y'all niggas know where the Mason Dixon line at. Virginia is not there. Virginia is after that shit.
Virginia is definitely Mason Dixon.
That's the next level shit. Right
Yeah,
there.
Virginia is
Nah,
after that.
there's cicadas in
Virginia's after
Virginia,
that.
nigga. There's cicadas in Virginia.
I
Maybe
just-
they
I haven't-
might not
yeah, I
in
haven't
there's
seen-
cicadas in
They
Tennessee.
definitely in VA.
No, it
Right
depends
now,
on
they
what type
definitely
of
in VA.
trees you
They-
have. It depends on what type
No.
of trees. They said
Oh, it's
oak
the tree.
trees attract
Okay.
them jumps. Oak trees.
Maybe.
That's
That's
what I'm
But-
telling you.
where
Yeah.
that's where they be at. They
Maybe.
be
No,
by the trees.
maybe.
That's where they be.
Maybe. I don't have no fucking oak trees over here in fucking Prince George's County, nigga.
Exactly,
But I'm saying though,
You're not oak rich out here.
they're over here. They're over here.
You're not oak rich out here.
You ain't know.
They out here, bro.
That's why they be eating the cicadas too. They rich.
Hey, you ain't Oak Ridge, nigga.
Nigga,
Okay,
they
but I got
chocolate and everything.
that picture I was talking about earlier. They said this is at Area 51. They like remake these type of
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pyramid, obelisk, the Eye of
Let's get some
Sahara.
real OT. Let's get some real OT shit. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
they
what I'm talking
remade
about.
this joint at Area
That's what I'm
51.
talking about.
You see
And did
that
you also-
sundial right there? Look at that shit.
You see that eye of Horus right there?
Yeah. Okay, but another thing, the Eye of Horus, right? Did y'all peep like there's the Eye of the Sahara that like
No.
they like try to
Show me.
compare they try to compare it to Atlantis, like Plato said, you got like documents of Atlantis.
Show me.
Eye of Sahara.
Show me. Because I know it's out here.
Oh yeah.
That shit
Hey
pop
man, we
right
gotta
up.
take a trip
They be
to one
hiding
of these
shit in-
countries, yo.
I'd be
We gotta
scared.
take a trip to one of these countries.
Shit, it's not even the countries, nigga. We can find a whole bunch of shit out here, dog.
Yeah.
Where we at?
I know, but I wanna go. Like I wanna go to Egypt. I wanna go to.
No bullshit.
Oh yeah, Egypt. I wrote
How are those Airbnbs in Egypt?
Oh no, bro.
Stupid.
No, bro.
Like where we staying
I
at?
don't
We
know,
staying in
bro.
the tent. We staying in the tent, my nigga.
I don't know. But yeah, they say the Eye in the
staying in
Sahara, right? In the desert, right? They saying it look like how Plato explained Atlantis. And they had like some super like, high energy beam that probably fucked up the earth. But remember like when we went to like Zeitgeist Day and the dude like Jacques Francois or whatever was making those like, those like self-sufficient islands and shit. It looked just like that. It looked just like this, right?
It looked just like that shit.
Like this.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
But yeah.
Niggas drove all the way to New York for the
Right.
Yeah, New York.
Niggas drove to New York to hit this nigga's home.
Yo, watch the
Hey,
whole Sun
listen.
Rock.
Just mean that's the best way to make them joints. Just mean that's the best way to make them islands. Sound like to me. I don't think that's where they saying it is. But
what do you mean?
Everybody had their theory of where
like civilization started.
No. Well, quote unquote, science already says civilization started in Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's where we have the oldest mummies, and then they. I'm sorry, not the oldest mummies, but the oldest sarcophaguses or whatever the fuck. But then they found out that.
Hey, you know that clip by
sarcophagus.
What is that? What is that?
Sarcophagus. I just let it slide. Sarcophagus.
Look it up, my nigga. Look it up, my son.
Nah.
Hold on, I'm gonna look that shit up right now.
Look it up. Sarcophagus, my nigga. Look
Hey
it up.
Siri.
What
There is a sarcophagus?
There was one clip I isolated with Corey. He's like, I ain't no anthropologist or nothing, but that was the funniest clip. I ain't no anthropologist or nothing, but
this the oldest shit.
Yeah, giveaway.
Yeah, man. But
What did he say? What did he say, Ray? He said when a
white girl jump in my arms. Yeah.
He said when a little white girl run into a black man's arms, I knew something was wrong here.
He said I done ate ribs with a man.
Yeah, stupid, man.
I was out there eating McDonald's.
That's crazy.
I know. Why do old people say McDonald's? Yeah. Why all old people say McDonald's?
McDonald's. McDonald's.
Hey, they do be saying McDonald's though.
McDonald's. What is that? I ain't never ate at McDonald's.
No, yes, you did. I promise you.
Oh man,
that shit's terrible.
McDonald's. Barbecue. That was personal.
McDonald's.
Y'all wow.
I got me some Mac ribs at the McDonald's.
Oh man.
Crazy, man. No, man, it is some stupid ass shit out there going on there.
Talking about like the like this shit.
Yeah, man, this shit crazy. What the fuck is that? All right, I can keep that shit back up. Keep that put it back up. So I can see the Eye of Horus on the right. I see the little pyramid in the bottom left. What the fuck is this shit at the top left though?
Sundial obelisk.
Yeah, sundial.
Yeah, it's an obelisk, but where is this shit at? It's the same spot.
It's in Area 51. All this is in the same spot.
Hey, but look at that PlayStation controller looking thing. What is that?
Where? What?
So at the image on the bottom left, but the top right of that image.
Okay.
You see that?
Right.
Oh yeah, that circle.
That's probably like a drone or something, like a drone controller.
I was about to say, what the fuck is that?
That's still crazy how you got all that shit. A drone flew over to get this.
High too.
Got that footy.
Motherfucker was high as shit.
So, but hold up, with the is all this shit is like spread the fuck out or whatever? Because I'm looking at the Eye of Horus or whatever the fuck, and like I don't see that shit in none of the pictures of the Eye of Horus because that shit is big as fuck, whatever the fuck. I don't see that shit inside that. So these are all like different little slots and different acreages anyway.
That's just in the goddamn Roswell shit. That's the
Area 51, yeah. But I'm saying none of that shit is near each other. It's just they own all them acreages and shit, and that shit is just in different areas, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I was looking for it in the Eye Horror Stone or whatever, but I
Yeah.
So let me ask this though, since we in OT, let me ask this. So the
Yeah,
the
me too.
UFOs and shit that niggas see now today. I don't know about back then, but me personally, I feel like the UFOs that motherfuckers see today anyway are it's our shit. It's shit that we have re-engineered and
Back
whatever.
engineered.
Yeah. I feel like most of the shit that niggas are seeing now today, we did that shit, and you know what I'm saying. I feel like it's I don't want to say it's a ploy to slow drip and let people know that there's aliens or whatever the fuck or intelligent life out here or whatever the fuck. But I just feel like it might be something to you know. I don't know. I feel oh, we lost one. Okay, but I feel like the UFOs out here today anyway. I feel like they out here, and I feel like it might be like a false flag type of shit.
That's why I think like the biggest discernment is going to be of like our time. Like, we're gonna have to distinguish is this shit real.
Yeah, if they already, if niggas already questioning like getting vaccines and shit or whatever the fuck, just off some health shit, you know what I'm saying? And we got some fucking flying saucers going around or whatever that we don't know about. And everybody's seeing them. Everybody's saying that we see these joints or whatever.
I mean, all right, yeah. I mean, time can tell. Time can tell. Like, if it feels like we're gonna see it real soon with this whole disclosure agreement, and we're gonna stay connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we
real quick though.
like how we unpack this
Oh,
shit
go ahead.
coming up. How we gonna unpack like this whole disclosure shit is gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good platform.
But I was watching. I just randomly went through episode 3 of the podcast, and we was talking about this alien shit, and we was saying the same shit. We was like, man, this shit seemed kind of like we literally called this shit back on episode 3. Yes, I was like, damn, we was talking about this shit on episode 3. So yeah,
a whole prior year and some changes.
But that's it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We've been watching that shit.
Yeah. So if you see this and you can reflect on that, and then you can ride with us in the future, you probably gonna see this shit. This shit gonna be some crazy shit. And we calm.
Yeah, it's gonna be next level. And guess what? We're gonna be here for the ride, baby.
Yep. Yep. Overtime FlightRoom podcast. Yeah. Let us know what you're interested in. So catch up.
Yes, sir.
FlightRoom podcast overtime.
And we wrapping at 1:11. It's all right.
Again.
That's crazy.
1:11 again. Yeah.
There you go.
1:11. That's crazy.
We on time. We on time, baby.
All right now.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.
All right, y'all be safe.